Hey, thanks for watching 4Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen, and I'm back with a haul video from the 2022 Pryor Creek Comic Convention in Pryor, Oklahoma. And so, anyway, just been waiting to do this for a couple of weeks because it's been a couple of weekends ago that this happened. And another year, second year in a row that my oldest son went with me and worked the table with me. He had a great time. I had a great time. We just always have a great time at the Pryor Creek Comic Con. Shout out to Jimmy Trammell, who is one of the primary organizers of that con. He got it started, and he's a culture reporter, I believe it is, for the Tulsa World in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and does a lot of has the fun job. I think that one of the most fun jobs of the paper, and that is reporting on movies, concerts, comic conventions, food reports, that kind of thing. And so anyway, shout out to Jimmy. And by the way, if you hear some extra background noise, that's because we have a new cat, a new kitten. It's my daughter's cat. She named him Oliver. I call him Possum for obvious reasons. And so anyway, just thought let you know. So if you hear some scratching and stuff going on, or some mild chaos, you'll know what that's all about. All right, let's get started. Let's get into this. Pryor Creek Comic Con. Some great, of course, sold a bunch of books, and that's always fun. Always good to thin out the collection a little bit, make room for more, of course. Paid for my table and everything, and so I had a good time. All right, I'm going to start with something that's just gorgeous, and that is, first of all, I'll give you that side of the slipcase. This is the Marvel Legacy of Jack Kirby. It's a great book. I do expect to be doing a bookshelf bounty video on this pretty soon. But there's the front. There's the back. Just some great. It does come out into one illustration. Okay, wonderful stuff. Gotta love it. It's Kirby, just filled with a lot of good illustration, great illustrations. Starts with the golden age of Kirby, but quickly gets into, that the 1961-62 era, a little bit, further, but the era that really just made classic Marvel. Okay, so had to pick that up. Didn't necessarily make a deal on it, but got it for retail, which for me, that's a deal for a book like this. So great stuff. And honestly, it came out in 2016, I believe. And honestly, I think I want to say that retailed. Well, let's see. I think it retailed at about $20. I may be off a little bit, but I think that's a deal for a book like that. So, great stuff there. All right, let's get into the comics. Got a comic that I've been looking to score again for quite some time. It's one that I had back in the day when it came out. I bought it off the rack. It is Web of Spider-Man number 70. First time Spider-Man becomes the Hulk, or a Hulk-like creature. But I managed to get issue number 69 as well. Get the two-parter there. So always looking for that book. Just because, not because it's hot or anything like that. I got it for like $2-3. But because it's just a great story. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of classic stories that I wanted to have again. Marvel Team Up number 74, Spider-Man and the Not Ready for Primetime Players. Nothing like seeing Jim Belushi and Silver Samurai face off. Jim Belushi in his samurai outfit. I forget what that gimmick was. He was a kosher samurai. It seems like had a kosher deli or something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, just great stuff there. A great classic story. Lots of fun. I remember when that one also I bought off the rack back in the day when I wasn't really old enough to know. It was 1978. I was 10 years old. Didn't really know who the Not Ready for Primetime Players were. But I regularly picked up Marvel Team Up whenever I'd find it on the racks. And so picked that up. I'm glad to have that back in my collection again. Along with that, Avengers number 175, just ticking off another Bronze Age Avengers. This is, of course, part of the Korvac saga, and so glad to have that back in my collection. These are all, again, the things that, books I used to have in my collection, and of course, over the years, you you thin out, you sell, and then you wish you hadn't. And I could do a whole video series on books that I used to have that are going through the roof right now, and I wish I'd never sold, but I did. But maybe one day I will, who knows. But anyway, Avengers 175, great Dave Cockrum, Terry Austin cover. Love that cover. And so looks like, at first glance, looks like a Perez cover, but it's not. Dave Cockrum, inked by Terry Austin. All right. Did also get Batman Outlaws book 2, finally, a great Galassi book. And so Paul Galassi doing the art in that. Doug Munch, I never know how to pronounce his name, if it's Munch, I don't know. But anyway, great storytelling team. And so can't wait to read part 2 of that. Okay, let me bring out a couple of bling covers. You know what I call bling covers. They're the ones that have foil or holograms or chromium or whatever. But a couple of books. One that I'd had before and I was glad to get again. And again, just cheap. It wasn't expensive. Didn't break the bank at all. And that is Iron Man number 288. Just a nice foil cover with what would become the War Machine armor. But so anyway, just like that cover. And then one that I believe I first became aware of this when Night Tiger showed it off on his channel. This is Secret Defenders number 12, the Thanos cover with the foil, with the rainbow foil on there is what I call it. Great cover. Of course, I like the shiny covers and the gimmick covers, so that was a no-brainer. And again, just a couple of bucks on that, so I was very happy to find that. And that's a great thing about Pryor Comic Con as well. Man, the deals you find there. And I am going to talk about with some Silver Age that I got, what deals I found. But did tick off another Lee Ditko Spider-Man reprint, Marvel Tales number 142, Spider-Man's first encounter with Dr. Doom. And so again, a reprint, but always like to have those. Those are actually starting to command a little bit higher prices. Not astronomical, but just people are realizing, okay, the original Lee Ditko comics obviously are out of reach for the average collector, and so the earliest reprints, the better. Okay, and so now here's one, again, just ticking off the Hulk comics that I had as a kid and enjoyed. This is a 1982 Incredible Hulk number 277, the second part 2 of a 2-part UFO story. It was the second appearance of this story was the second appearance of the UFOs. So issue number 276 was technically the second issue, and so, or the second appearance. But I have the UFOs first appearance because they're some of my all-time favorite Hulk villains. They always have been. All right. Found another Marvel Age, and this is great because it's a Marvel Age Stan Lee cover, Marvel Age number 41. Love the photo cover of Lee. What's the year of publication on this? 1986. Well, the year I graduated from high school. So there you go. There's there's old Stan on the cover of Marvel Age, proudly cheesing for the camera there with all those wonderful creations in the background that he co-created. And so you got great stuff there. All right. Some important Captain America reprints. I like picking up the special editions, the Marvel special editions. I think you know that. Those of you who have seen my comics or seen my videos before, these are 1983 Steranko reprints, and so with the reprints of the covers as well. So great shape, and I like getting those because again, a lot of times those books are out of reach, and so I pick up the reprints because they're just fun to read, and if they're high grade, all the better. I did finally. Speaking of classic reprints, special editions or classics, that kind of thing, I did finally finish. I think there was 3 or 4 issues of X-Men Classics that reprinted the stories by Roy Thomas and Neil Adams, and I got number 2, which finished my run. And so just a great Mike Zeck cover there, reenacting some action, some classic X-Men action, okay? And so great stuff there. Another Marvel Tales reprint of Stan Lee and Steve Ditko Spider-Man story, Marvel Tales number 164. And love the violet, purple colors on there. I always like the violet, the deep violet stuff. That I don't know why, but it just makes everything else against it pop. It makes everything in the foreground pop. It helps that it's in a really nice shape. All right, I did snag, and it's a book that I've wanted for a while, just for the heck of it. The Superior Spider-Man #1. Enjoyed that series so much. Otto Octavius taking his turn at being Spider-Man was just amazing, and lots of fun. And just watching the character development throughout it all. I won't give anything away because for us old guys, there's probably people out there who have not seen or read the series. But listen, if you're an old guy and like me, or even older than me, I'm 50. I'm 54. And if you haven't read this because new comics, gimmicks, give it a read. It's a great art, great story, great characterization. And so anyway, I wanted to pick that up. All right, speaking again of special editions, I had issue 6 of this 6-issue series, and finally snagged the others with great new Jim Starlin covers on these. But these are the Warlock special editions, issue 1, issue 2. Again, if you know me, I like having older comics in high grade, that kind of thing, but the story is the thing, okay? And here's the thing, I've never read the complete Bronze Age Warlock saga, so can't wait now that I've got them all together to do that. Issue 3, again, these were new Jim Starlin covers for the series. Issue 4, did a great job on the coloring on these. And issue 5. So, and I have issue 6 already, so great stuff there. Also netted another limited series that I had back in the day again. This would have been 1983. And so would have been a freshman in high school, about thereabouts. And series I enjoyed, but for a while spiked in price, and for a while was just hard to find in high grade. And this time, just the perfect storm, high grade and reasonable prices. This is the 4-issue story of Magic, where we see how Illyana Rasputin became the Magic character. And so you have issue 1, issue 2. And I remember in this story how the Nightcrawler character in there wasn't the real Nightcrawler as you think. It was another Nightcrawler who was just evil and terrible. Number 3. Great John Buscema art in these, by the way, if I remember correctly. And number 4. So can't wait to read that again. It'll kind of transport me back in time. And then I've picked this one up. Wasn't even on my radar. It's just one of those things that you pick up because the price is right and it's there. This is a Wizard number 0, or Wizard 0 issue. This is Wild Thing, the daughter of Wolverine, in battle with the Incredible Hulk, and kind of reenacting that famous Incredible Hulk 181 cover. I like reenactment covers. I like homage covers, and so that, like I said, I wasn't even aware of this book. So that was kind of a no-brainer. I went ahead and picked that up for just a couple of bucks. All right, we get into now the Silver Age, and there are a few issues here. I'm going to start with these because these were kind of unusual. I've known of course, the March of Comics for a long time. Used to have a few March of Comics issues. I honestly don't know what came of them, but I did net a Jetsons, Hanna-Barbera Jetsons March of Comics issue. I do not remember the publication date on this, so I'm going to check that. That would be 1965. All right, so 1965, published by KK Publications. And so March of Comics. I don't know what KK Publications stood for, what KK stood for. Probably two people's names, all right? Then this one, this was just unusual, had to have it. Everybody here knows, all you older comics guys, you know about Grit, the newspaper. Grit commercial, Grit ads used to run all the time in comic books, I believe Marvel and DC. This is a 1959 Grit publication. This is You've Got to Have Grit mini comic. And it's nothing but a big promo for Grit, for selling Grit. Kids could, there's the application on the back to sell Grit that they would have cut out and sent in, filled out and sent in. I love it because there's no writing in this. Again, it is a 1959 publication, so love that. And technically still Silver Age, as most say. The Silver Age began in '58, I believe. But anyway, so that was neat. I had never seen it. I like stuff like that. It's always fun. You know, the world of comics is so diverse and so rich. The history of comics, I should say, that you can have collected for over 40 years like me and still find something new. All right, now some more Silver Age. Kid Colt Outlaw has some Stan Lee and Jack Keller stories, I think, throughout. And so a couple of the stories only Stan Lee signed, but Jack Keller signed a couple others. The art looks the same throughout. It's reprints, I believe, because this is a 15-cent comic, and so it would have been published around 70, 71, I think. But Golden Age reprints in there, so good stuff there. Found this book primarily got it because it is Silver Age reprints, but also it's it was one of the square bounds. It's in such nice condition. It is Marvel Superheroes number 29, and with some great gloss on there, a great spine for the most part, and a little bit of getting soft down on this corner, but otherwise just a really good looking book with some great reprint stories in here from that classic Marvel Age. Okay, so good stuff there. And I hear the cat wrecking something in there. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, let's see. Let's go to this one. This is actually a cover that I've been wanting to score for some time. Found one in pretty high grade. I like Christmas covers. I like Christmas. And this is one of those Christmas covers that I wanted to have. This is Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 10 with the wonderful Christmas colors, green and red in there, but the Christmas ornaments with Fury and the hate monger and Fury's flying car, in there. So great stuff there. Wanted that cover for quite some time, and got some good gloss on this specimen here. And so anyway, was really glad to find that. Unfortunately, Frank Springer art in there. Okay, but other than that, great book. All right, I know somebody out there likes Frank Springer. I just never was a fan. So, all right, very excited about these. These are the last items that I'll share. Very excited about these. Finding them basically in a $10 box, $10 each. The first one is Battle number 66. Now these Battle books are not easy to find, and this is a 1959 issue. I did manage to find one with a Kirby cover. A Fidel Castro story inside that actually it was early on, so it kind of pitched Castro. It put him in a positive light, which is interesting historically. And so you got Castro there. You got some great, at least one story in here with some great John Severin art. And so, but the Kirby cover is the show stealer. I love that. I found that for $10. That was a bargain. And the second one, and the last of the haul, it was an ACG book that I wasn't even on my radar. Now this is again a Silver Age, even though the cover to me screams Golden Age. I'm going to take it out of the sleeve because I was so happy with the condition. This is a 1967. 1967 Gasp number 2, and I love that cover. So found that again in a $10 box, in which that's just all day long. That kind of thing is a bargain, because I have to believe that these weren't. There was, for compared to our time, yes, high print run, but you don't see very many of these floating around at all, even in under counter, or even in counters, glass counters, or on comic book walls or stuff like that. So very glad to find that. Gasp number 2 with a really cool, again, looks like a painted cover. And so 1967 Silver Age book from ACG, American Comics Group. All right. So anyway, that's it. That's the haul. we'll be back hopefully sooner rather than later with another haul from vintage stock and flea markets and the like. But anyway, just wanted to share with you what I picked up at this year's Pryor Creek Comic Con. And anyway, just hope you're enjoying your hobby. Hope you're enjoying, more importantly, your family. Hope you're enjoying your faith. Hope you're enjoying everything good about life. Stay thankful. Keep enjoying comics, and keep sharing the love. Whenever one of the great things about these cons is it's just collectors showing the love. It's not just dealers offering great deals to collectors and stuff like that. A lot of it is collectors gifting one another with this or that, and it's just really, really cool. Hey, one collector going to another table, like, hey, I know you like this kind of book. I thought of you and just wanted to give you this. I've done that at cons. Other people have done it for me. It's just really neat. So whatever you do in this community, keep sharing the love. Keep sharing, your passion for the hobby, but keep the important things first in life: family and faith and all of that good stuff. But anyway, that's all. I'll stop with the public service announcement. But anyway, thanks for watching. Continue to look out for new videos. Hopefully, I'll get back to it again more regularly. But appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And we'll see you next video.